Welcome back to Homesteading with the Zimmermans, where each week we give you another episode of what's happening here on our Northeast Iowa 21-acre homestead. My husband Alvin and I have been married for 25 years, and we have 7 children. 5 of those children still live at home. Our oldest 2 are married and no longer live at home, so this means we also have 2 son-in-laws and 1 grandson so far. So on our 21-acre homestead, we seek to preserve the self-sufficient lifestyle of our Old Order Mennonite heritage for the next generation. We involve the children in every aspect of the homestead, from raising and harvesting our own meat, gardening and preserving to fill the family's larder, or preserving the dairy from the family milk cows, plus all the many other skills that develop the character and integrity and relationships of a family that seeks to bring glory and honor to their Heavenly Father. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Homesteading with the Zimmermans. It is June on the homestead. We're almost to the middle of June, and here in our region, June means that we have really long days. The sun's usually shining well before 6 o'clock and doesn't set till almost 10. And so things just grow in leaps and bounds, and kind of like a blink and you missed it type of thing. But so it's really hard to leave the homestead in June, but we did. And that's what I'm going to take you along for this week. We went to the Homestead Festival in Tennessee, and then from there we visited the Justin Rhodes farm and recorded a podcast. And I'm going to take you along on our trip and back home, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, before we go any further in today's video, I am going to talk about our sponsor of this video, which is the Backwoods Home magazine. You've heard me talk about them before. Well, did you know they have a sister magazine called Self-Reliance? And this one comes like in between. So the Backwoods Home magazine comes every 3 months, and this one comes halfway in between. So this is a great accompaniment to the Backwoods Home, and there's going to be a link in the description where you can, this link will take you to a special landing page that will give you a discount to your subscription. So one of the articles that I am reading currently in the Self-Reliance magazine is Lemon Balm, because I'm a little, how should I say, growing up, my mom didn't grow a lot of our own herbs and things like that. So I'm still learning about herbs. And I realized that I have lemon balm that grows wild here because I have a weed that smells really good. And I call it a weed because I didn't know. So just yesterday, I pulled some out of my garden, and I should have just transplanted it and put it where I want it. So there's recipes and things like that about lemon balm. And so now I'm really hoping mine comes back, and the identification here really helped me. The other thing that I found very interesting in this copy of Self-Reliance is there's an article about growing lima beans, and I was very discouraged about how poorly my lima beans germinated in the garden. And so I one night sat down and read this article, and now I know what I did wrong. Lima beans prefer a very warm soil, so I should have just waited. I should have waited until the forecasts had like a week of 80-degree weather and then planted them. So that's the number one thing that I think I did wrong with my lima beans, and I learned it in here. So don't forget, there's a link in the description for you. So I sure don't have a lot of video footage of being at the festival because it was such a busy time for our family. The 3 youngest boys went with us, and they had such a struggle adjusting to the humidity in Tennessee. They made some great new friends, And one of my favorite parts was having coffee in the garden on Saturday morning with so many of you in Rebecca Feek's beautiful garden. And then probably the highlight was the 100 advance copies of my book, The Heart of the Homestead, that we ordered, and the launch party that we hosted with 100 guests. And I sure enjoyed meeting so many of you at the launch party. So I also have my official copy of The Heart of the Homestead, and I am so, so happy with it. You can pre-order your copy. I'm going to put a link in the description for you where you can pre-order your copy. And don't forget to check out all the pre-order goodies that my publisher is offering to those of you that pre-order The Heart of the Homestead. So on our way from Tennessee to North Carolina, we saw this little roadside stand that said Georgia peaches. And since we weren't real far from Georgia, I knew that these peaches were going to be delicious. And this is actually one of the highlights of the entire trip for me. Okay, what about, will you sell a case?
Cases are 90.
So the cases are just like this?
Yes.
So we won't be home, we're traveling home for 2 days. I'm just trying to imagine if they'll travel well.
Some of them will, yes.
Yeah.
Some of them have already started to soften up and have like
Right.
little soft spots
Yeah.
in them. But other than that, the ones that are firm, you need to leave out so they will ripen.
For those of you that have been here a while, you know that one of the things that I miss most about growing up in Pennsylvania is the fresh peaches in the summertime that everybody would sell, and you grow them on your own trees, and the juice would just run down to your elbows. So I was very excited on this road trip to get some peaches that reminded me of growing up in Pennsylvania.
Is it sweet? Yeah? Does the juice run down your hand when you... That's why they're
Yeah, but then I need something
Local
to...
honey is here in Sevierville.
Show me what you've got, Kendrick. Was it that good?
So as y'all go on through, y'all will see some of the destruction that Helene did when she
You are more than this has made our whole trip.
Well, I'm glad it did. If you like several locations, we have this one. We have
Now you
two
can
on
walk
up
closer.
Chapman Highway, one in Seymour, one in Sevierville. We have one out in Maryville, and those are our permanent locations. We also have one on Boyd's Creek. We're here all summer, all the way up until Labor Day. Dickey, Georgia peaches. Gotta come down and see us.
Thank you, got it.
You're welcome.
Our destination in North Carolina was the Justin Rhodes Farm, and we started right in the morning after we got there with chores at 7:30 a.m.
Underneath these wood chips over time is compost. And
Then you just shovel it over there on your garden.
That is what seeds our raised beds. And then we go into the raised beds. You boys want to pick out some weeds? You can pick out some weeds and throw them over.
Yeah, just clean the pig.
Henry, do you want to go?
You want to go? On the Rhodes Farm Safari?
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk with Mom.
At Justin and Rebecca Rhodes' farm. And Mom had to milk the cow on this beautiful morning on the side of the mountain with the Rhodes family. You couldn't ask for a much more beautiful
Go side
morning
to
with
side.
a great family.
She doesn't care.
A little bit of both.
I usually milk those two, and then
She's a pro.
So we
she's
made,
got.
we made these roads in our pasture. So this is like a flat space
Oh, right.
in our pasture
Yeah, we
so
had to
that
do
we
something.
can have roads
You're
to
dedicated.
drive on
Yeah.
instead of driving in our
Can
pasture.
you imagine driving on this 30-degree slope?
It's scary.
That's what we did for a very long time.
But we do have 3 milk cows.
Okay.
I don't need 3 milk cows. I'm trying to decide which one to sell.
Okay.
Because in the wintertime, I hate myself when I have too many
Yeah.
milk cows. When it's 30 below and I have to go milk. In the summertime, give me 6. I'll just sit out there in the pasture and milk them, and I'm happy.
Too bad it doesn't work that way, right?
Right? So it's very inspiring to hear Justin and Rebecca talk about their rotational grazing and how they are turning some of the side of their mountain into pasture, and then also getting some insight on calf sharing, you know, separating the calf from the cow for a little bit so that she gives you more milk. Because as most of you have noticed, we are fairly new to allowing the calves to stay with their mamas. So we really love to hear how Justin and Rebecca make it work with their milk cow. Have you seen a big difference in the fertility of your grass with the sheep following the cows?
Oh, definitely. Because you see these multiflora roses?
Yeah,
Cows don't eat them. People hate them, but I love them
yeah,
because
What?
it's turning multiflora
You
rose
said
into
that
lamb.
again?
Multiflora rose.
yeah.
That's these briary.
Ah.
Oh, you're saying
On a
I love 'em.
commercial
You want me
farm.
to say I love them? I love them because the sheep are these are gonna be stripped bare
They'll eat them all.
tomorrow. When they move on, we come behind in the spring. We then come behind with the mower.
You mow off
And it
whatever.
chops whatever
Yeah.
none of them ate. And because we don't quite have enough land for the amount of food we want to produce, we got to really make the best of what we have. And so we will mow, and that feeds the organic matter of the wasted grass,
Yeah.
and it chops down anything they lack. Here, you do it. That's got a little bit smaller. So we're going to change their diaper.
You're going swimming? 1, 2, 3, go! So, according to the opinion coming from the 3 little boys, we ended this little vacation entirely too soon. They loved playing on the Rhodes farm and were not ready to start for home. However, we knew that 2 of our cows were due to have calves within a week or 10 days, and the photos that we were getting from the farm at home helped us decide to cut our trip a little shorter than we had planned. This photo especially because of the milk dripping from Brenda's teats. Well guys, we made it home. There is no baby from Brenda yet. I have a feeling she was waiting for me to come home, but I may just be, you know, a little conceited and thinking that, you know, that she loves me most and she's waiting for me to be home before she calves. She's been dripping milk, and we'll see what tonight brings. If she doesn't have a calf by tomorrow morning, we will take her back down to pasture, and I'll just keep an eye on her down there. It won't mean much for me to bring her and the calf up to the barn if that's what we need to do. All right, we are back and we've got our morning chores done, and the boys and I are gonna go and move the fences, get the cows back into their rotational grazing. So because Brenda did not have a baby overnight and Lizzie is now ready to go out on pasture along with her calf, and we've got the new rotational grazing all set up, we are moving Brenda and Lizzie and baby Buck out on pasture. Lizzie is equal parts not extremely well halter trained and excited for eating some fresh grass because she's been on dry hay since Buck was born, because we needed for her to be up around the barn while we were gone to make it easier for our farm hands to do chores. Kendrick, can you go open the gate?
Hey, come on, Buck. Come on, Buck. Come on, buddy. Wait, I gotta get past you.
Okay, make sure Moose comes. Hey, Moose. Hey, Harrison, can I have that?
Hey, that's a baby we sold. Do you think Buck will go under the fence?
He will, but he'll come back to his mom. So now that the rotational grazing is set back up and the cows are all settled in for the day, it's time for us to start focusing on catching up on laundry. Kendrick, you helping? Harrison, hang it by the bottom of the shirt like I did Dad's, see? And then, of course, the garden got out of hand in the week that we were gone, and it's time for us to focus on getting all the weeds taken care of before the rainstorms move in. So we had some beautiful rainstorms overnight, and the next morning we decided we needed to make a new rotational pasture again for the cows. And we were happy to see that Buck survived his first night out on the pasture with the grown-up cows just fine.
You ready? Right now.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of this video. And I've told Fiona and Brenda here that today's not a good day to have their babies. You see that they are ready, but a rainy day, it's not a good day to have a baby in the field. So we will see if they do as I tell them to. But thank you everybody for being here. I do not have any speaking engagements until the end of the month. So we will be back to our Wednesday garden tours and Saturday videos for the next couple weeks anyway.